Hey everyone, so wanted to do kind of a comparison between this original 62 SG Custom that I refinished, you may have seen the video, and the 60th anniversary SG Custom. Now, obviously they're quite different, but supposed to be the same, or very similar to the same. Some things are very good on the reissue and some things are not. So one of the main things is, let's take a look at the this side here. Overall, the dimensions are all pretty correct. The bevels on this one, everything has been sanded down more on this one because of the refinishes over time. But I did compare this one to my 61, that is all original, hasn't been touched. And let me put this one down for a second. And these bevels and the dimensions and everything in the horn match my 61 nearly exactly. Those were all hand done back then, so they're not going to be exact. The main issue, and actually this bevel here, these body lines are all pretty much correct to the that one and also my 61. But the main culprit that really lets it down is this horn right here. Let me get this one back out and show you what I'm talking about. If you'll notice the taper on this horn, where it kind of tapers up and in, this is just fat. It's just super fat. It doesn't look right at all. And all of the modern Gibson reissues are like that for some reason. I don't know why. They say they scanned one, and in Gibson's video, they show their 3D scan of the 61 that they did, but in that scan you actually see the taper. So I'm not really sure why they're not doing that. It can be fixed over time, but I really don't know why they won't just fix it. And the way you can really see it is, let me illustrate it this way. You see how the body has a taper right here. Now this horn should also taper in, so it gets skinnier here. This one's pretty correct, but this one is not. It's like they just forgot to do it or didn't want to, I'm not quite sure. They also got the heel wrong completely for even an early, late 60, early 61, this lip would have just carried on around flush if they wanted to do a lip. This is basically like a 64 heel. So if they wanted to do the lip, they got that all wrong as well. And the 61s had a smooth heel like this one. My 61 is just like that. So they got the heel wrong, and they got that horn, that bass horn taper wrong. The heel there's probably enough wood on there to fix it if you really wanted to. And you have to be really anal to do that. Personally, I don't think it's worth it. This probably adds a little bit of strength. The originals are known to break, but this horn taper is really irksome. So maybe in the future, if this one gets really dinged up or something from owning it, I will address that in the future and just kind of taper that and correct the bevels and make it correct. One thing interesting, I don't know how close this is to an original 61 because I don't have one next to paint to see how close they are. But these are fairly close. This one's a little bit more yellowed out, but they're really close. Kind of interesting. Yeah, but we don't really know what. I don't have one that has the original paint and they'll all be different, varying different degrees of yellowing from their life. But anyway, this one is it's a great guitar, sounds really good. The custom buckers are pretty good, but they don't touch like Doyle Corals or Throwbacks or real PAFs at all. They're not that close. They sound muddy in comparison. One interesting thing about the pots on this one is that they're the Sprague. They're not the Black Beauty Bumblebees, but they're the Sprague Black Beauties, I guess, with the red lettering and stuff like that. Kind of interesting. The side trim is better than the Gibson USA versions that I've played, but it's still pretty garbage. It's either to block it off or don't touch it, more or less. But this one stays in tune generally if you're shimmering it, but it doesn't come back to in tune pitch. It'll go sharp or flat, but the strings will all be in the same tune. So it's kind of bleh, but it looks awesome. And I would probably just block it off. The best thing would be to do is to find an original vibrola if you want one to come back into tune and to be able to use it. They're much better than these modern ones. That's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. But that's the main thing. It's just that you can see the body, that horn bevel is the main. It's just so bad. It's so thick and fat looking. It just doesn't look right. And that's where my eye goes every single time. The headstock, actually, let me talk about the headstock. Gibson's original split diamond logo thing. It's like they used Photoshop and just scaled it down by like 2%. It's because it's the original one. These tails go up higher and lower into the truss rod, where the truss rod usually covers those up. So that's just an adjustment, I think, for aesthetics. You know, they didn't want the truss rod covering it up. Or I think it looks fine though. The ebony fretboard, the pearl inlays look great. Oh, Gibson's 10-inch cover is terrible. It's just not good. It's like, it looks like a cheap knockoff, whereas this Mojo Axe one looks exactly like the original. And also the pick guard. Now the long pick guards, I've seen some pictures of the long pick guards that are very pointy like this one, and this one will come down a bit more, but it's very, very white. I prefer the Mojo Axe. In fact, I'm probably going to have to order a Mojo Axe one to replace this one. I just think it's better. Some QC issues I'm seeing here. Some bubbling around the joint here of the clear lacquer. It's like it was blushing when they were putting it on, but overall it's in good shape. And this is from the demo shop. But anyway, that's it. That's really it. This is really the main issue. The rest of it is all very, very close to correct. Pretty good guitar. Nice. So if you have the guts to refinish these, then this can be dealt with. Otherwise, this is kind of a collector piece. I don't know if it's a collector piece, if it's going to be, but it's an anniversary model, so it's got more value in it. But anyway, not bad. Thanks for looking.